You don't have to wait for January 1st. You don't have to wait for Monday. You don't have to wait till fall. This moment right here today is enough. This could be it. You can decide at any time that you're ready for something different. What is the rest of 2025 going to look like for you? Welcome to the Shannon McCabe Show, where we break free from our drink-obsessed culture, challenge the myths around alcohol, and redefine sobriety as the empowering choice it truly is. I'm Shannon McCabe, sober coach, holistic nutritionist, and your guide to a life that feels better without booze. Whether you're newly sober, sober curious, or years into this journey, this podcast is here to give you the truth about alcohol, the tools to build lasting confidence, and the hope that a vibrant, fulfilling life is waiting for you on the other side. So grab your coffee or sparkling water and let's dive in. Hey friends, welcome back to the Shannon McCabe Show. I am excited about today's chat, which is going to be quick, but you guys, it's going to be punchy, okay? This is like a real life conversation. I want you to actually just kind of imagine that you and I are getting the chance to meet in real life, and we're sitting down to have a coffee or sparkling water or kombucha or whatever. Because this is again, I get the best messages from you guys, which just like, thank you so much, because I seriously, every week I'm getting more and more DMs hearing about how this podcast is landing for you, how it's like affecting your real life. And I'm still just continually blown away that you guys listen and that I get to do this. Just when we zoom out and think about how crazy life can be, right? You guys, 3 years ago, I was a mess. I was in the worst of my drinking days. It was the middle of the summer, 2022. I was literally hiding alcohol in the bedroom. I was staying up drinking until like midnight or 1 a.m. most nights by myself. I thought it was relaxation. I thought it was self-care. And I was just like putting a smile on, but I felt so lost and so like weak and dumb because I couldn't figure out how to get on top of alcohol. And now here we are 3 years later. It's just wild to think about. So anyways, today's chat is another quick, just kind of heart talk that, like I said, has come from just you guys and some conversations I've been having in my DMs and a little bit of a theme that's come up. So I want you guys to just sit and think, imagine that we are meeting in real life, having a coffee, having a sparkling water, and I am that best friend, that friend that loves you and cares about you and is maybe a tiny bit worried about you. And so this is a little bit of a check-in, okay? It's a check-in in the sense that you guys, we are halfway through this year. We are halfway through 2025. And I don't know about you, but every year seems to go faster and faster, right? That's what happens when we get older. And we can have these best intentions and we can say we're going to do things. And then before we know it, days turn into weeks, turn into months. And all of a sudden we're like, holy shit, how is it the middle of 2025 already? So that is the thought that's on my heart today. And what is the basis of this little chat we're going to have, okay? Because this is a loving but somewhat firm and somewhat serious reality check from me, your friend that cares about you. This is not a guilt trip at all. And this is not shame at all, because I get it, you guys, right? Like I just told you what my life was like 3 years ago. So what I'm going to say today, what we're going to talk about is not a guilt trip and it is not judgment, but it is me caring about you and just asking you how the year is going, okay? Because that's the thing. We're halfway through 2025. So I want you guys to take a breath and just ask yourself, how is this year going when it comes to your drinking? Has it been another year of trying to moderate, maybe? Has it been another year, another half a year of making all those rules, right? You know the rules, you guys. I'm not going to drink before the kids go to bed, or I'm going to quit drinking after the kids go to bed. I'm not going to drink Monday through Thursday. I'm not going to drink Sunday through Thursday. I'm going to switch to only organic red wine. I'm only going to drink on days that I work out. We're only going to drink out of the house if we go out, or I'm only going to drink at home because that's smart. That's cheaper, right? Oh my God, I did that one. You guys, all the rules. Has it been another 6 months of making rules that you're probably breaking, because we always break the rules, right? Has it been another 6 months of the regret? like that drink, regret, repeat cycle, sprinkling in these little resets. Maybe you can go a week, maybe you can even go 2 weeks, and then you reward yourself, air quotes. You can't see me, but I'm doing air quotes saying you reward yourself by drinking again. Maybe you actually even did dry January and felt amazing, just amazing enough to believe alcohol when it tells you, like it knocks on the door, right? It taps and it's like, I'm still here and I bet you can moderate now. I bet that you can control it, because that's what alcohol wants us to believe. And that's what alcohol convinces us to try again, right? And so when I say that stuff, again, you guys, please, please, please believe me that I'm not shaming you and I'm not judging you, because that is how powerful alcohol is. It tricks all of us like that. It tricks us into thinking that we can control it, that we can be in charge. And then when we can't, we feel shitty about ourselves. When it's not us, it's alcohol. Okay, you guys? So this little check-in, this heart talk, this coffee chat with me, you guys, it's not about shame, but it's about being honest. I want you guys to be really honest. I want you to be honest with yourselves, and I want you to be honest with me. How has the first 6 months of this year gone in regards to your drinking? And we're getting honest about it without shame and without judgment, right? Like we're setting those on the shelf. We're putting a pin in them. We're not judging ourselves. We are not wallowing in shame. We're just getting honest so we can make a lasting positive change. We can't do that when we're coming from a place of shame. We can't should ourselves into positive change, or we can't shame ourselves into positive change. We get honest so that we can focus on how we want to feel. How do we want to feel in our life? Because then we can figure out how to get there, okay? So we're focusing on how we want to feel, not on the shame that you're maybe currently feeling, okay? So if you found yourself, if you're listening to this and you're like, okay, it's July, and I am stuck in that loop again. Shit, like, how did this happen? I'm trying to reset after every single weekend. I keep telling myself it's going to just be 1 or 2, or it's going to only be weekends, or it's going to only be that vacation. And then you're sucked right back into it. And you're thinking to yourself, like, why can't I just stop? Why can't I control this? Why can't I be a normal drinker? Again, those are those air quotes, you guys. Why can't I be, quote unquote, a normal drinker? I want you guys to remember that the problem is not you. You are not broken. You are not weak. You are literally trying to control an addictive substance, an actual addictive drug that from the second you take a sip alters the way you think, the way you physically and emotionally feel, the way you make decisions, the control you have over yourself. There is nothing wrong with you for not being able to control that, you guys. Alcohol is a drug. It is a very powerful drug. It is actually not meant to be controlled. The people that seem to be able to control it, you guys, they're actually the ones that are probably more like out of the ordinary than we are. We meaning those of us that cannot control alcohol. Okay? It chemically is not designed to be controlled. And even the people that maybe are the normal drinkers that really can have 1 or 2 or can take it and leave it, it doesn't mean that they're not still suffering the consequences of this super toxic chemical. Alcohol is ethanol. It is chemically the same stuff we put in our cars to make it run, you guys. So if it is seeping its way into your life and making you doubt yourself, it's not you. It is the chemically addictive toxic drug, okay? If you guys haven't listened to one of the first episodes I did where I talk about moderation, I go deep, meaning deep, it's like 20 or 25 minutes, you guys, on moderation. What is happening in your brain? What is happening in your body? Why it's so hard to moderate. Why you actually will hear a lot of us that have finally broken free say that it was harder to moderate my drinking than to just quit altogether. 100% stand by that statement. If you haven't listened to that episode on moderation, go back and grab it. I think it's number 3. You'll find it. Cue that one up after this and give it a listen. But right now, let's finish this chat, because I want to propose something to you guys. I have a radical idea, but I want you to hear me out, okay? If you were to decide soonish, in the next week, in the next month, if you were to decide that you're ready to do things differently, and I say decide you're ready because remember, you guys, ready is not a feeling. You are never going to feel ready. We never feel ready for anything, right? Ready is a decision. So if you were to decide that you're ready to just try to do things differently and step away from your drinking, by the time the holidays roll around, you guys, you could be 2 or 3 or 4, almost 5 months alcohol free. Think about that. 4 to 5 months alcohol free. And if you can't even remember the last time that you went, like 2 or 3 or 4 months without drinking, that's okay. Aside from a pregnancy, that's how a lot of us were. That's absolutely how I was before everything fell together for me, okay? But you know what happens around that 3 to 4 month mark? Because it's what happened to me. It's what happens to almost all of my clients. You guys, I see this day in and day out. Take women like me, women that were drinking in secret. We were hiding it in coffee mugs and Stanleys. We were drinking alone. We were calling it self-care. We were feeling broken and isolated. And then we do the things, we do the things that I know to do, that I did, that I help women do. And we get to that 2 month mark, that 3 month mark, that 4 month mark. And all of a sudden, all of that energy that went to shame and guilt and regret and panic and rules suddenly now is filled up by things like clarity and energy and confidence and peace and freedom and ease and anything else good that you can think of. When you give yourself time and space away from alcohol, you realize that not drinking isn't about deprivation or restriction. It's not about feeling like you're missing out on something. It's about freedom. It's about realizing everything you have to gain by stepping away from this one thing. It's truly about like next level living. Like you're still you, but you're better. It's you glowing from the inside out in a million big and small ways. So babe, I am asking you point blank as your friend, how has this year been for you? And how do you want it to go from here? We're at the halfway point. The end of 2025, the end of another year is going to be here before we know it. How do you want to feel at the end of the year? Do you want to look back and say that you've spent another year, an entire year of your life, giving more energy to trying to figure out your drinking? Or do you want to be sitting there at the end of the year thinking, holy shit? Like, first of all, Shannon was right. I just had to say it, you guys. Do you want to be feeling like, oh my God, I can't believe that I get to feel this good. I can't believe that it's all actually true. Everything everybody says. I have more energy. I'm sleeping better. My anxiety is down. My depression is down. I have more creativity, more focus, more joy. My relationships are better. And you guys, guess what? Still having fun, even more relaxed, maybe even better relationships. Think about how you want to feel at the end of the year. Think about how badass it would feel to head into the holiday season with 3 to 4 months of alcohol-free living under your belt. You guys, it feels like a superpower. It really, truly does. And you can think that's as cheesy as you want, but once you get it, okay? Because this is a point, you guys, you don't have to wait for you don't have to wait for January 1st. You don't have to wait for Monday. You don't have to wait till fall. This moment right here today is enough. This could be it. You can decide at any time that you're ready for something different. So I encourage you guys. We're wrapping up our coffee date. It's time for us to get back to our real lives. I encourage you guys, though, to spend some time reflecting and figure out what you want to commit to. And reimagine the rest of your year. What is the rest of 2025 going to look like for you? And of course, remember, you guys, that you're not alone. Trying to do this alone, this meaning trying to quit drinking in a way that like lights you up from the inside and doesn't feel like deprivation and misery, trying to do that alone is insanely hard, you guys. I tried myself. I tried to quit on my own for almost 4 years and it never worked. And then I let some happy, sober people teach me some stuff I didn't know. I learned a lot more stuff along the way once I got far enough away from alcohol. You guys, that's what I would love to do for you. You can step farther into my world anytime, you guys. The blueprint, the alcohol-free blueprint, my signature quit drinking program, where I literally take every single thing that I did to finally quit drinking for good this time and quit drinking in a way that had me feeling really fantastic. Honestly, you guys, by like week 3, the blueprint continually helps women that couldn't make it more than a few days without a drink find their way to not even wanting to drink. And this usually happens within about 3 weeks. I'm not lying. Why would I lie? I have no reason to. I see it over and over again. I would just love you to experience that. I would love to get to know you and hang out with you in there. So head over to IG, you guys, drop me another DM. Tell me how this lands. What comes up when you reflect? What comes up when you think about how this year has gone and how you want it to go from here? Are you ready to recommit come hang out with me. Let's get you in the blueprint. I would love to get to know you. I'd love to hang out with you. I'd love for you to have these aha moments and be like, oh my God, it really actually is as good as they always said it was going to be. All right, you guys, make it a great one. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will be back next week for another check-in. And in the meantime, I'd love to hear from you. Don't ever hesitate to send a note. And I'll talk to you guys soon. That's it for today's episode. If this conversation resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a new episode. And if you're loving the show, I'd be so grateful if you'd leave a quick review. It helps others find this message and start their own journey to freedom. Until next time, keep choosing yourself, keep believing in what's possible, and remember, you are so much stronger than you think.